I'm Ryan. In this video, we're going to be going over my Elliott wave count for Avalanche, or AVAX for short. And we're going to start out with the macro count, which is this one right here. So this would be all on intermediate wave 1 here, intermediate wave 2 down here, and then we're currently coming out for an extended wave 3. This can't be, we cannot put this intermediate wave 3 here because, oops, I think it's locked. I'm going to go into this and unlock it. So we can't put this intermediate wave 3 right here and this 4 down here because this 4 has already overlapped this wave 1, as you guys can see right here. So I think the best way to count it would be saying this is a minor wave 1 and we're coming out for an extended wave 3. So that's basically the main macro count that I'm going to be going with for today. And it looks like we already came to the golden pocket for the wave 2, which is a good target for the wave 2. In addition, I'll go over some targets that we actually came into for this wave 2. So we actually came into a pretty strong level as far as this goes, especially if this says the exact point ABC. So some tools we could be looking at to the upside to give us this wave 3 target would be, first of all, this pitchfork right here. So this would be the 0, 1, 2 pitchfork, taken from the bottom of this wick, which I'm not a huge fan of because I'm sure this wick varies a little bit based on which exchange you're looking at. On here, it comes all the way down here at about 0.8 cents, or rather 0.80 cents, so $0.8. And then we pull it all the way to the top of wave 1, down to the bottom of wave 2, and that gives us this pitchfork right here. So if we were to come to the bottom of this pitchfork, somewhere down here, I would expect it to be pretty good support. And if we were to come to the top, I would expect it to be pretty good resistance. So next, we could be looking at this trend-based fib extension tool. So this would be taken from the bottom of wave 1 to the top of wave 1 compared to the bottom of wave 2. And typically for a wave 3, so if this is all a wave 3, you want to be looking for this 1.618, but since this is on log scale, this 1.618 would come pretty high up. This would come around $10K, $10,000. So I'm more likely going to be a little bit more conservative for the targets of this trend-based fib extension. And I'm going to probably be looking towards this 1-to-1, around this 1-to-1, so we could come up here for this 1-to-1 to top out for this wave 3. Another target we could be looking out for is this 1-to-1, so this would be taken from, this would actually be taken from the bottom of this wave 2, so the beginning of this wave 1, to the top of this wave 1, down to the bottom of this wave 2. So we don't yet know if this wave 2 bottomed out yet until we end up making new highs, especially in an impulse wave. So we have to wait and see to get confirmation that the wave 2 ended right here. But assuming it did, then that 1-to-1 based on log scale would come up here around $868. So that could be another good target to be looking out for. Additionally, we have these Fibonacci expansion levels. So if we take these would actually be, I believe, these would be negative fibs. So this would be taken from the bottom of this wave 1, this minor wave 1, to the top of this wave 1, and it would all be negative fibs based on log scale. So we have this 0.618, this negative 0.618 coming in up here. So I would say overall, this level right here is a pretty good level of influence. So it could be a potential target for this intermediate wave 3, around $700-ish to $860. Now let's get into some of the more local accounts that I have. I'm going to hide these tools for now. And the main local count that I'm going to be showing you guys today is this one right here. So let's zoom into what we're looking at. And this is all a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the intermediate wave 1. Then we come down for a zigzag for an ABC. I'll show you guys the subdivisions. We can go on the 4-hour chart. So let's go ahead and zoom in. This would be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A wave. For the B wave, this would be an ABC, so this would be some sort of flat for A, or rather this would be, this would be ABC, wave A, ABC, wave B, this would be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, wave C. So this would be a flat for wave B. Then moving down for this wave C, we get a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for this wave C. This low right here is a little bit troubling because on some exchanges it comes below this low right here, which would invalidate this being a wave 1. technically. So on this exchange, for example, it does come below this wick right here. On other exchanges it doesn't. But if we were to say that it does come below this low and it invalidates this being a wave 2, then the alternative count is pretty ugly, which I don't like. We'd have to say this whole section right here is probably some sort of diagonal, which I'm not a huge fan of. So I think it makes more sense to give it the benefit of the doubt and say this is a wave 1 here and this is a wave 2 here. So that's what I did. And the way you would count up for this wave 1 is pretty ugly as well, to be honest. You'd have to say this is a 1, 2 expanded flat. And this is a wave 3 up here, 4 down here, 5 here for a truncated 5th wave. So it's not pretty, but that's really the only way you count this as a 5-wave move for this wave 1. You can't say this is a diagonal because this wave 5 is longer than this wave 3. If it's a contracting diagonal, you want to see the wave 5 being shorter than the wave 3, in which it is not. So that's not a possibility. So anyways, I put the wave 1, this minute wave 1 here, minute wave 2 down here. Moving up, we get a 1, 2 here, and we get an extended 3rd wave. So this would be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, this wave 3. Wave 4 happens to be a little bit longer than this wave 2, but some variation is good to see. We get an A, B, C. So this would be this would be a zigzag, presumably. Then moving up, we get a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for a wave 5. This isn't an unending diagonal. It looks like it could be, but it's not because this wave 4 does not come into the price territory of this wave 1. So it has to be a regular impulse as opposed to a diagonal. So this will complete this minute wave 3. Then moving down, we come down here for this correction. So this would be all a expanded flat for an A, B, and then we get an ending diagonal for the wave C to complete this wave 4 of this correction. And then moving up, we get a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for this minuet wave 1. Down for this very short, swift minuet wave 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, minuet wave 3, 4. This would be a running flat, so this would be an ABC, ABC. Actually, this would be a WXY, so this would be an ABC, 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 which would probably be a zigzag into a flat. Then moving up to complete this minor wave 1, we get a 1, 2, 3, 4, short 3, 4, but nonetheless a 3, 4 here, 5 here for this minute wave 4, or 5, to complete this minute wave 5 and this minor wave 1. And then moving on to this section, this part right here was very difficult to count. So one way I am counting it right here is say this is a wave 1 here, this is a wave 2. We would move down for wave 3, so we probably have to line it up like that. This would be a wave 3, up for wave 4, down for wave 5, all for a leading expanding diagonal. Now I was trying to think of a way you can count this without calling it a diagonal, and it's pretty hard to do. You can't really do that nicely with obeying all the Elliott wave rules. So I think the alternative best way to count it would be saying this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, down for a expanding diagonal, and it works out because this wave 1 is shorter than this wave 3, so to clarify, this wave 3 is longer than this wave 1, and this wave 5 is longer than this wave 3. So it makes sense, and also the volume profile makes some sense too, because for the most part it does decline throughout the progression of this diagonal. So I think it is valid. So I put the wave A down here. This would be a 5 waves down for this A wave A, which means we're getting a zigzag, most likely, where this would be a wave A, up for a wave B, down for a wave C. And so let's go into this wave C. The wave B is a little bit debatable on how you can count it. I'm not going to go into it too much for this video, but you could probably call this all a wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for wave A, B, C. That would make this wave 1, 2, very long compared to this wave 3, 4, but it is possible. Moving on to this wave C, you can't really count this section as well. It's kind of like this section right here. You cannot count this section as a nice 5-wave impulse down, but just based on the look of it, it gives us a nice 1, 2. So we're kind of forced to squeeze in this diagonal. So we get another expanding leading diagonal for wave 1. Up for the wave 2, moving down 3, 4. This 4 does not overlap this wave 1, so it's valid. Then we get a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for this wave 2. So we could count a 5-wave impulse if we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that could complete this wave C down here of this zigzag. Now, what we came into is the 1-to-1. So if we pull a Fibonacci extension tool from the top of wave A to the bottom of wave A and compare it to the top of wave B, we come exactly into the target of the zigzag, which is the 1-to-1. So this could be the bottom of this wave C, especially since you could count down a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the wave C. And currently down here, it looks like we could be getting a leading diagonal for a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We kind of have to wait and see what happens with this section right here. But it is possible to count it as a leading diagonal. Let's take a look at the volume profile. Okay, so it's not perfect, but I would say it's acceptable for a diagonal. We're getting, for the most part, decreasing volume. You know, it's starting to pick up a little bit right here, but it's not the end of the world. I would still say it's valid, so we could be rejecting somewhere up here for this wave 5, and then come somewhere down here for this wave 2. Now, I'm not super confident about that count right there, this diagonal. It could be something else like a W. This could be a WXY of some sort. I just wanted to show you guys one local count we could be applying to this section right here. Mostly, I'm just waiting to get some more confirmation for what happens. If we end up getting a nice wave 2 down here, a pretty sharp wave 2 down here, and then another move up to above these lows, that would probably be a good opportunity to get in, especially because that could be confirming that this is a wave 3, and that this was a 1, 2, 3. This would be a 1, 2, 3, and we're going to keep impulsing up. So overall, I'm going to be waiting to see what happens for this session right here, but that's all I really wanted to go over for the local count. I think we could have bottomed out, but we have to be a little bit careful that this isn't a 1, 2, and this isn't all an extended third wave, where this would be, for example, let's highly count. This would be a 1, 2, this would all be an extended third wave for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, 5, like that. We have to be a little bit cautious before just buying in that this isn't the correct count. I would say it's less likely because this wave 4 would be very, very long compared to, for example, this wave 1, 2 of a higher degree. So I'm going to say it's a little bit less likely that is the correct count, especially since we came into a nice target for a zigzag of the 1-to-1. So if this is a zigzag, I would say it's pretty likely we could have bottomed out. Now, what we need to also be careful for is that this isn't some sort of top of a higher degree, and then that this isn't a wave 1, 2, this is all wave 3, 4, 5.
So if we start going to the 1.618, so if this is wave A here, or rather if this is wave 1 here, so if we take a Fibonacci extension tool from the top of wave 1, we measure the length of wave 1 compared to the top of wave 2. If this is a 1, 2, 3, then we don't want to see it come to the 1.618. So let's go to fib levels based on log scale. If we end up seeing it come all the way down here to this 1.618, then that's going to be a warning sign that this could all be, like I mentioned, a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, so far we've come into the 1-to-1, not based on log scale, which is a pretty nice target to look out for. We've also come to the bottom of this channel, taken from the top of wave A to the top of wave B, dragged to the bottom of wave A. So we came into the 1-to-1 as well as the bottom of this channel, which is a very nice target for a zigzag. If we start falling below this channel, maybe we backtest and come to into the 1.618, or even take out these lows right here, that's going to be a warning sign to me that we probably put in a top of a higher degree, and we're probably going to end up retracing pretty far down. All right, now to summarize what I just went over, I'm looking for the bottom being in right here. It makes a lot of sense for the bottom to be in right here, and for us to be starting out in a wave 1, we're going to come down for wave 2, and then start impulsing up from here. Now we have to keep in mind that obviously this doesn't mean we could have put in a wave A here, and this could simply be an A, B, C, like so. So we have to be a little bit cautious as a conservative trader. Typically, you don't want to buy right here. So for example, if we do get a wave 2, this is a wave 1, this is a wave 2, You could buy the golden pocket. That would be a pretty good bet, especially if Bitcoin is at support. But it's no guarantee, of course. A more conservative approach would be waiting for a 5-wave impulse, especially one that isn't a diagonal. So if this is a leading diagonal, we would want to see an impulse of wave 3, 4, 5 up here, and then a pullback for wave 2 to get in on the retrace. So that would be a more conservative approach, and you would want to see increasing volume on the way up as we make our way up here. If you don't get that, it's more likely a corrective move. So we have to keep that in mind. And overall, I'm looking for higher, but we have to wait and see to get more confirmation that the bottom is in. And yeah, that's about it. That's all I wanted to show you guys today. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the Discord server in the next video. Take care. Bye.